This is exactly what I've been waiting for. This is exactly, I don't mean to sound like Cat Williams, but this is exactly what I've been waiting for.
I'm gonna be the one to say it, boys. Genshin's peaked. Rip Bozo. But the September revenue came out for all the gacha games of, well, September, and again, Genshin is just losing money. I'm not gonna go as far to say it's finished, but it has definitely peaked. I don't think Genshin will truly be number one, at least until a 5.0 patch or something. And the reason I say this is because I did a little bit more research, and as you can see on the screen, I have the revenue report from May, and we're going to go through every single month and just show you that Honkai's a new cash cow, baby. It is the superior gacha game, at least from a financial standpoint. So without further ado, let's really break it down. So as you can see in the May report, which was the first full month that Honkai got, Honkai was released on April 26th, so to include April's a little bit unfair, but that being said, if you just look here, they still made $20 million in 4 days. And Genshin's obviously sitting there at 48 mil because they were the cash cow, not anymore. And easy 48 million. And as you can see, there was a steep decline into 34 mil. The first month is obviously skewed. I'm going to play devil's advocate there for that because what typically happens is when a new game comes out by the same publisher, people jump ship to the new one, try it out, see if it's for them. And more often than not, people do tend to really go back. But it seems like Star Rail, a lot of people are sticking to it and just going full free to play Genshin now that they've, had a taste of a turn-based RPG gacha game. And then you've got, other games like Fate Grand Order, Uma Musume. Who really cares about those? But this whole video is for Genshin versus Honkai. Because let's be real, gacha games from any other developer, barring, say, Fate Grand Order, they make money, but nowhere near the amount that Honkai and Genshin, and I'm sure ZZZ, Denlo Zone Zero, and Honkai Impact 3rd Part 2 will make. Because Honkai Impact 3rd already makes some good money, but not in like grand comparisons to Star Rail and Impact. But let's move on to June. So June was another one. So May having the opening month for Honkai Star Rail, $81 million. That was ridiculous. But now we move to June, there is a decline. It's now 54 mil. And to be fair, I think June was probably the weakest banners. We would have had Silverwolf and Lulu. Yes, Silverwolf was an insane character, but didn't really bust open a whole lot of wallets because a lot of people were still saving for Kafka. Because we knew about her from release, a lot of people really wanted her. But still, 54 mil versus 30 mil? It's still just shy of double. And I get new games are going to have that bias where because they're new equals better, people are more invested. But hey, I digress. There's not really much else to say here, so let's move to July. So July is where stuff really does get a lot closer. It was 58 mil for the previous month, and then July was 40 mil. Genshin was 32 mil to 31. They're at a constant kind of string of even 30s because people have jump shipped, and more people who do pay to win are now going to be on Honkai instead of Genshin because Genshin doesn't really have endgame. I think that's probably a big reason a lot of people who do spend money on games have jumped from Genshin to Star Rail, as well as the character designs, in my opinion at least. Star Rail clears Genshin in that regard. If you want to argue that, comment why, but I just don't think the designs are just as up to scratch. Not to mention minute outfit changes in Genshin, they're like $30. And let's be real, like probably 10% of the outfits out are actually good. Yeah, July, Honkai, still in the lead. So now we move to August. August was a decent jump from 41 mil to 39 mil. And Genshin again, 30 mil, 30 mil. Fontaine released in August too. And that was a massive hyped update. I get Linny wasn't too hyped. A lot of people weren't really excited for Linny, so I do get why the numbers didn't move that much. But still, on a 0.0 update, to have the same return as your prior month is a bit worrisome. I know, I'm not talking in terms of business here. 30 mil a month is ridiculous. But Honkai Star Rail still on top. Don't know what happened in Fate Grand Order at 55 mil, but we don't talk about that. Now we go to September, the most recent month, the month where there's kind of all the big things happening, because we got the Fujuan banner, and we also got the Dan Hung and Bibitalune banners. Huge characters, by the way. And Genshin also had the release of New Valette. Sorry if I'm butchering the name, but that person, I know for a fact, was hyped. I could never open up Twitter or X or whatever you truly want to call it without seeing that guy everywhere. So he was popular. He was very popular. So how well did Genshin, with the New Valette release, fare against Honkai Star Rail releases? The grand numbers are dropped to 40 mil because it is a weaker banner for Honkai, and Genshin's made some more of a comeback, but with New Valette, they made 36 mil. For me, that still doesn't show, like, I understand they are close. I do. They are 4 million off each other from being tied, okay? But with the hype I saw from Nouvellette, I honestly thought 45, 50 mil. I thought they would actually rake in 1.5 to 2x their regular monthly income because everyone wanted that character. Like, literally everyone. And I have seen a lot of people from Star Rail saying they're skipping 1.4 for Fujuan and for Dan Heng to get the Jinglius and the Topasses and the Ho-Hos and pretty much any other 5-star character that's coming out that's not on the 1.4 banners of the world. So do I think Genshin's over? No. Genshin will never be over. Genshin isn't over, at least from a financial perspective, and it will always have a core player base that will play no matter what. That's just a thing in gacha games. People will always play a game and stick to it if they seem to like it. Even when new stuff comes out, they will either gatekeep or boycott. There's really no in between. The gacha space is a weird space to be in. But it's good to see a turn-based game like Honkai Star Rail doing so well, even 5 months after the release. Because I honestly thought it would start to die down in late June, early July, and kind of just stick to a core player base. Because in my honest opinion, I didn't think turn-based games were really a competitive kind of playstyle anymore. Turns out they are. And I am so happy for that. Turn-based games are so fun. I don't get the attraction of farming for 500 flowers, walking a destined route for 5 hour, 6 hour days on Genshin. I just don't understand it. Half of the reason I gave up on it is because there's no in-game content and the gameplay is very boring. I just hit the mic, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna go as far to say it's bad gameplay, but it is just, it feels soulless. When the game came out, it was great, but they didn't really seem to work on it or change up much. And before you go into the comments and say, oh, but they added Dendro and it made all these new reactions and stuff, it's still the same kind of gameplay, and there's like, sure, you get some cool events here and there, but where is the end game gameplay where I get to test out my plus 20s with like 35% crit damage and my real extra high-end stuff to really push it to the limit? It just doesn't exist. I haven't played Genshin in over a year. I jumped back on for the 4.0 Fontaine update, and with my Diluc from the first 4 months of the game, I cleared Abyss. In Honkai Star Rail, I'm still struggling in Swarm Disaster. You could probably chalk it up to me just being bad. I get it every single second over on my Twitch when I am live, which is every single day. Go follow the Twitch, by the way, twitch.tv/MaximumGacha. I've got to plug it. But Honkai feels more fleshed out, and every single update, we get stuff that changes the game forever. We get, like, for example, in 1.3, when we got the Fujuan Dan Heng, it wasn't over there. We also got Swarm Disaster, and Swarm Disaster showed us true endgame. And you can also somewhat self-scale it so you can push your account to the limits with a tiering system of the final boss's swarm tiers. So once your movement counter hits 0, every 5 moves after that, the tier will change for the final boss and become more difficult. So it's not like you're, doing the whole thing of, oh, I beat Abyss blindfolded, or I beat Abyss using my feet. It's more built in to kind of, let you choose difficulty of easy, normal, hard. But hey, that's just my 2 cents. Ultimately, I'm happy both games are thriving. Even though I'm not a Genshin player anymore, it's still good to see there is a core player base that enjoys getting nothing. That was a joke. It was kind of a joke. Anyway, that kind of wraps up today's video. Honkai is on top, and I think it will stay on top for another 4 months at least. Maybe when Genshin gets like bigger characters and much more anticipated stuff, they will eclipse it every here and there. But I'm pretty sure Honkai Star Rail is staying on top. It's staying on top for a while. It might dip every now and then, but ultimately it's going to be number 1, number 2, unless Fate Grand Order has an insane release or something, maybe number 3 as well. Because I don't know what's going on over there, but 21 mil even in September after 53 mil in August is wild. I haven't played a whole lot of Fate Grand Order, but that's an insane amount of money. Anyway, I've been Max. Thank you for watching today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.